Judicial Appointments is now in session. The Honorable Patricia Guerrero presiding. You may be seated.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the public hearing of the Commission on Judicial Appointments. As Chief Justice of California, I serve as chair of the Commission. The other members of the Commission are Attorney General Rob Bonta and Presiding Justice Jim Humes, and Janelle Baker serves as Secretary to the Commission. This hearing is to consider Governor Gavin Newsom's appointment of Justice Tracie Brown to the office of Presiding Justice for the Court of Appeal, 1st Appellate District, Division 4. The Commission is in receipt of a letter from Governor Brown. I'm sorry, that was the last time. Remember that, but this time, Governor Newsom appointing Justice Brown to fill a vacancy created by the retirement of Presiding Justice Stuart R. Pollock. The state constitution specifies that an appointment by the governor to the Court of Appeal is effective when confirmed by the Commission on Judicial Appointments. The Commission received correspondence pertaining to this appointment, and we made these letters available to the press and public a few days ago. Pursuant to a request by Governor Newsom, the State Bar's Commission on Judicial Nominees Evaluation, Jenny, has undertaken an evaluation of the qualifications of Justice Brown for this position. Mr. Adam Hoffman, chair of that commission, is present to share the results of the evaluation later in these proceedings. Justice Brown has asked that the following persons be called to testify on her behalf. I will list you and call you individually to come up to the podium. Mr. Donald K. Tamaki, partner at Manabi LLP and Tamaki LLP, and the Honorable Stuart R. Pollock, retired presiding justice for the Court of Appeal, 1st Appellate District, Division 4. We invite Mr. Tamaki to the podium.
Thank you, Your Honor. Chief Justice Guerrero, Attorney General Bonta, and Justice Humes. It's such a privilege to address you. I have the high honor of really telling you a few facts, little-known facts about Justice Brown. No, I won't be giving up any state secrets, but I hope to shine a light on her humanity and her steadfast commitment to justice. I met Tracie 23 years ago when she volunteered to work on a historically significant case dating back more than a century. In 1850, California entered the Union as a non-slave state, but beneath that enlightened exterior, the state was plenty complicit with the nation's original sin, passing fugitive slave laws and importing Jim Crow policies, which put a target on the backs of not just Black Californians, but other people of color. By 1920, California was considered a strong Klan state with sizable and violent chapters in San Francisco and in Oakland, Los Angeles, and other cities. Into this ultra-racist environment at the time, the first generation of Japanese Americans immigrated. San Francisco's Issei, and these were the called the San Francisco, or the Issei of the Japanese American generation. San Francisco's Issei wanted to nurture Christian values in Japanese American girls and in women, like the values they thought the YWCA embraced. But in Jim Crow San Francisco, the YWCA banned them, so these women sought to build their own YWCA. There was only one thing wrong with this problem. California's alien land laws forbade the Issei from owning most kinds of real property. But these women would not be deterred. They held fundraisers to buy land in Japantown and gave money to the YWCA on its representation that it would hold title in trust for the benefit of Japanese women and girls. Famed architect Julia Morgan donated her services. The building was erected on Sutter and Buchanan, and for the next 80 years, it served the community before and after the incarceration of Japanese Americans into concentration camps. But in 1996, the YWCA needed money, claimed unfettered title to this historic building, and listed it for sale. So the community sued for breach of charitable trust. The widespread media coverage caught Tracie's attention. At the time, I was pedaling as fast as I could, trying to keep up with my practice and drowning in the enormous work that this ancient case entailed. And somebody named Tracie Brown, then an associate at Cooley, kept leaving voicemails for me, which I had no time to return. I thought, who is this person, and why is she pestering me? It was, shall we say, a little annoying, but I was smart enough to call back. Lucky I did, because the YWCA pursued this case like major high-stakes litigation, and Tracie managed our response to 90 document demands, 35 requests for admission, over 200 interrogatories, and the defense of 44 depositions of Japantown leaders and elderly witnesses, including 95-year-old, very frail Michi Onuma. I recall Tracie sensitively and patiently and painstakingly preparing Mrs. Onuma. Moreover, Tracie defended over a dozen pretrial motions and won almost all of them. Her work output was prodigious, the equivalent of adding 2 or 3 lawyers, outstanding lawyers, to the legal team. Throughout, she was cool, full of self-deprecating humor, punctuated by that bellowing horse laugh we've all heard. Sorry, Tracie, it is a bit of a whinny. I asked her how she managed not to get rattled. I knew that in her youth she competed in the U.S. National Figure Skating Championships against, among others, Olympic gold medalist Christy Yamaguchi. Tracie deadpan, quote, "After you have fallen on your ass in front of 10,000 people, what's to get rattled about?" Followed by that horse laugh, of course. But I digress. After years of litigation, the case settled with the YWCA selling the building at a greatly reduced price to Nihon Machi Little Friends, a lauded nonprofit multiracial child care center, thereby ensuring the building would remain in charitable use for all time. The case is widely viewed as a victory over a land grab rooted in California's racist alien land laws. In a law review article, Professor Bill Ong Hing called it an outstanding example of community lawyering. In 2002, the State Bar awarded Tracie the Jack Berman Award of Achievement for Distinguished Service to the profession and to the public. And Justice Brown continues to mentor law students and young attorneys, understanding that she is a role model, in particular for women and people of color. Over the years, Tracie continued to speak on programs addressing implicit bias based upon race, gender, age, or other isms, and how such perceptions infect decisions on such issues as hiring, advancement in the workplace, and criminal prosecution. Gentle people, your honors, the judiciary and the citizens of California are well served by the appointment of Tracie Brown as presiding justice. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tamaki, for that very touching presentation. We next invite to the podium Justice Pollack.
Chief Justice Guerrero, Attorney General Bonta, Justice Humes. It is truly a pleasure and an honor to be here to speak on Justice Brown's behalf this afternoon. It's particularly gratifying to me to know that with the concurrence of this body, Division 4 of our court is going to be in exceptionally good hands. It's not too many years ago, I guess it's only 4 or 5 years ago, when Justice Brown was nominated as a member of our court. We did some probing ourselves to see about her qualifications. And what we found was that she was then serving at the Hall of Justice in San Francisco. And what we heard from numerous sources was that she was a judge that both the prosecution and the defense were anxious to have preside over their trials. And as a member of Division 4, it quickly became apparent why that was so. Justice Brown is a very, very thoughtful individual. She is her outlook towards disputed issues is exceptionally balanced. She probes, but she listens to both sides and is determined to understand the arguments on both sides of a case, and then with a very critical mind to parse the issues, to analyze the issues, and to decide the issues in a way that engenders the respect and the confidence of both parties and the public as well in viewing her opinions. She is an exceptionally articulate individual, and you can see that in two ways. At oral argument, her questions addressed to counsel on both sides are always very perceptive, not argumentative, but right to the point. And then in her written opinions, she is equally articulate. She's written a number of very, very thoughtful opinions in the several years that she has served on the court. In addition to her qualities of intellect, she also has exactly the right personality, I think, to preside over this division of the court. She is a very personable individual. She is a lovely person to be with. She expresses herself in a way that does not gender resistance or opposition, but quite the contrary. It makes people not only want to agree, but to want to cooperate with her. And I'm sure that as the manager and a leader of Division 4, she will have the complete support of not only all the members of the court, but the staff of the court and everybody whose leadership she will be exercising. I might say she will have the support of two very fine associate justices, Justice Streeter and Justice Goldman, both outstanding members of the court. One of them fairly new, one of them been there a little longer, but I'm sure she will have their complete support. And hopefully, the governor will see fit to give her one more member of that division before too long. But in any event, in addition to all of these legal and personality qualities which she has and which everybody who knows her, I'm sure, appreciates fully, I should mention one other attribute that she does have. In addition to the ice skating, which you heard about, she's also an excellent baker. She brings to chambers cookies and cakes that can do nothing but enhance the attitude, and, if not the bellies of the members of our court. Justice Brown, I'm sure, will make an excellent presiding judge, and it is my pleasure and honor to strongly recommend the confirmation of her appointment. If there are no questions, I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Justice Pollack, in particular for your insight, given your role, and thank you, too, for your service to the court. The commission now invites the chair of the Judicial Nominees Evaluation Commission, Mr. Adam Hoffman, for the report of the evaluation conducted by his commission.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Chief Justice Guerrero, Attorney General Bonta, Presiding Justice Humes. I'm honored to present this report on behalf of the Commission on Judicial Nominees Evaluation to summarize the basis of the Commission's rating of Justice Tracie Lynn Brown for the office of Presiding Justice of the Court of Appeal, First Appellate District, Division 4. The Commission conducted its evaluation of Justice Brown on April 23, 2021, unanimously finding her to be exceptionally well qualified for service as a presiding justice on the First District Court of Appeal. According to Commission rules, that rating reflects the Commission's determination that Justice Brown possesses qualities and attributes of remarkable or extraordinary superiority to perform the appellate judicial function with distinction. Justice Brown was born in New Jersey and raised outside Boston. She is the youngest of 4 children. During her youth, she was a nationally ranked competitive figure skater at the junior and senior levels. In addition to figure skating and attending school, Justice Brown began working multiple jobs at the age of 15. While in law school, she worked up to 60 hours a week so that she could help support her family financially. From these experiences, Justice Brown learned a focused and disciplined approach to work and to balancing competing demands on her time. Justice Brown earned her BA from Harvard University in 1992 and her JD from the University of California, Berkeley School of Law in 1996. She began her legal career at Morrison & Foerster, LLP, and later moved to Cooley, LLP. During her time with Cooley, Justice Brown took a year to clerk for the Honorable M. Margaret McEwen of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. After returning from her clerkship, Justice Brown served as the firm's leading pro bono counsel in the landmark case, Soko Bukai versus YWCA of San Francisco, and secured an order preventing the YWCA from selling property held in charitable trust for second-generation Japanese Americans. As a result of her work on the Soko Bukai case, the State Bar of California awarded Justice Brown the Jack Berman Award of Achievement for distinguished service to the profession and to the public. Justice Brown then left Cooley and served for 11 years as an assistant U.S. attorney for the Northern District of California, where she litigated a range of major civil and criminal matters and supervised other attorneys. In 2013, Justice Brown was appointed to the San Francisco County Superior Court, where she presided over all stages of criminal proceedings. She also served on the court's executive committee, which managed administrative, budgetary, and employee performance issues. Then, in 2018, Justice Brown was appointed to the First District Court of Appeal, Division 4, where she remains today. In that role, her trademark work ethic and discipline helped her rapidly reduce the backlog of pending cases from the largest in the district to the smallest. Since joining the appellate court, she has also worked to increase externships and clerking opportunities for traditionally underrepresented groups. Outside of the court, Justice Brown has also taught civil trial practice at UC Berkeley since 2013. Justice Brown has a decade of experience on the bench, with 5 of those years in the appellate court. The Commission's investigation revealed that she possesses intelligence, legal skills, and a high degree of emotional intelligence. She is universally lauded for even-handedness, temperament, diligence, and well-written opinions. At the same time, she is known for her compassion and team-oriented approach to working with others. Justice Brown has deep respect for the court and commitment to public service. Her humility and humanity will help lead the court by example. For all these reasons, the Commission believes Justice Brown has the capacity to be a tremendous presiding justice for the First Appellate District, Division 4. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hoffman, for your detailed report. The Commission now invites Justice Brown to the podium to present a statement, if you wish, and to answer any questions the Commission may have.
I just wanted to say right now, thank you so much to my friends and colleagues for being here, and especially to speakers Justice Pollack and Don Tamaki, and to Mr. Hoffman for your presentations. And I'm cognizant of the fact that there are other people, I think, waiting behind me, so I'll open myself up to questions at this time.
Thank you. Are there any questions?
No questions. Just a quick comment from me. It's always a pleasure and an honor to be able to attend these hearings and to see family and friends and loved ones talk about someone who's been dedicating their life to service. And I always learn more. Didn't expect to learn about unique laughing styles today, or baking, or even ice skating, but it all helps us appreciate who you are and everything that you bring. So it's wonderful to be here. Just one question. As presiding justice, what are some of the areas of focus and priority that you think you will be emphasizing when you take on the role, should you be confirmed, as we all expect?
If I am confirmed, I will basically try to follow in the very large footsteps of my predecessor and the people who have served before me. From our first female presiding justice, Barbara Jones, who is here, to our incredibly efficient administrative presiding justice, Jim Humes. I really just want to sort of steer the course and hopefully keep everybody happy and well-fed, I guess, as we get through the cases.
Well, thank you for that. In another role and another time in my career as a legislator in the State Assembly, I was proud to be able to support you through the California API Legislative Caucus, and great admiration and respect for all you've done over so many years, and looking forward to supporting you today as well.
Thank you very much.
I have a comment and really one question, but my comment first is, how have your kids grown so much? You're at NJO.
I know. Chief Justice Guerrero and I were appointed to our superior courts on the same day. And one of the greatest compliments of my life is that when we were at Judicial College together in the same small section, occasionally people got me confused for then Judge Guerrero, and I took that as a major compliment.
We share that in common. I just wanted to tell you, I just have the utmost respect for you as a justice and a person. And you have such an incredible background and such varied experience working in private practice at the U.S. Attorney's Office for several years, trial court judge and justice, where you have excelled at each stage. In your mind, what do you think will assist you the most going forward with your new administrative responsibilities? Or you could go back to your figure skating.
You know, I think, honestly, being able to multitask was something I learned really young, because I was trying to do well in school while skating at a fairly high level, and also working part-time starting, as Mr. Hoffman mentioned, when I was 15. So just being able to multitask is something that's pretty easy for me, because I've done it for so long. My daughter says I'm addicted to work. She has told me that when she's trying to get me to help tuck her in at night, and so I have to pull myself away from the home office, our dining room table. But I think, you know, just being able to handle a bunch of things all at once and pick things up, because I've had a varied background, will be most helpful.
Thank you. Well, you didn't get to see the reaction of your daughter when you were sharing that experience. I think she'll fill you in later. Yeah. So, you know, we love hearing stories about justices' children, judges' children, and nothing that we do is even remotely as important as the time that we spend at home with our families. So just remember that.
Very true.
This completes the list of witnesses who are testifying here today. Are the members of the commission ready to vote? All in favor of confirming Justice Tracie Brown for this position, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. On this record and the correspondence received, the commission finds Justice Tracie Brown qualified to be presiding justice of the Court of Appeal, First Appellate District, Division 4, and we confirm her appointment. Congratulations, Jessica.
Thank you very much.
There's a little more. This concludes the formal portion of the hearing. Justice Brown has asked me to administer her oath of office. So if you're ready, we can do that now. And the ceremony will take place in a couple of minutes in the courtroom, so you're welcome to stay. We have paperwork, and then we'll be ready for you. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Tracie Brown,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm not tall enough, even with my heels, but that's okay. So first of all, I just want to thank Governor Newsom, Secretary Cespedes, and Deputy Secretary Martinez, and of course, the members of this august commission for voting for me. I first also want to thank my incredibly supportive husband and children who deal with me when I'm trying to review briefs and motions at either the dining room table or during a sports practice. I also want to thank my extended family, especially my inspiring and amazing mother who wasn't able to travel for this today, and my sister who came all the way from New Hampshire for what she called another internment. I'm really grateful for my friends and colleagues from various parts of my life, my prior life, including lifelong friends, Judge Angela Bradstreet, Judge Jeffrey White, and the inimitable Dale Manami. I want to thank the Asian American Bar Association, which has for decades been a source of support and inspiration to so many of us. And I'm humbled to see here a number of my judicial mentees and my ABBA mentees from many years. I'm deeply, deeply grateful to my colleagues on this court, not just the terrific and collegial group of judges, but the outstanding lawyers and staff with whom I'm privileged to work every day. Just to give you an example, the IT people at the First District Court of Appeal always take my panicked calls, even after I do things like ask them to come fix my printer and they point out that it's out of paper. I recognize how lucky I am to work with this court, the First District, especially the all-knowing and dynamic duo of Charles Johnson and Peter Rose, and my core team of Alexis Smith, Elise Sarah, and Julian Waldo. And the folks who really run the show are Division 4 clerks Channing Hu and Melissa Garcia. Division 4 is definitely the best work family I have ever had. And again, I want to thank my speakers and dear friends, Don Tamaki and Stuart Pollock. Don, thank you for not getting a TRO all those years ago against my many stalking phone calls. And thank you to Justice Pollock for being the most gracious and laser-focused and insightful colleague a person could ever hope for. I could not be more appreciative, Stu, of your support and friendship as I strive to fill your very big shoes. And every day as presiding justice, I will try to serve with the same grace and poise as people like our very first PJ, Barbara Jones, and Justice Humes, who runs the court with ruthless efficiency and good humor. I know that every day when I don't know what to do, I will just ask myself, what would Pollock do? And I will probably be in good shape if I follow that mantra as my guide. But I will say that for the sake of my colleagues, for their safety and that of my family, I will follow that with one exception. I will not drive like Stuart Pollock because it can be a very exciting experience, let's just say that. So thank you guys, everyone, for being here. I'm really honored and humbled, and I look forward to serving. Thank you.